Greetings, dear friends. And yes, we're in the darkness again, and so I am lit by my battery light. Maybe a bit of different light will make me look a bit younger, and you won't see the wrinkles. But it's good to be with you and to be able to share together. So this weekend, I had the privilege, with 4 other HMC members, to attend and to help on the team of a woman's Emmaus walk weekend. We too had 4 members of HMC who attended as pilgrims and were able to journey a bit closer to Christ. And of course, for us as team, even though we worked and served, we were just blessed out of our socks, as were our pilgrims. But there was something particular that I noticed at the weekend, because at the end of the weekend, people are given an opportunity to be able to say what has been the most meaningful for them, and maybe what would they do about that. And so many, and it particularly stood out for me, stood out and spoke of the reality that they needed to put God first once again. That life and their circumstances had overtaken, and they realized that God wasn't quite as important. And so we go back to Exodus in chapter 20. Some of those words that Moses brought down Mount Sinai when he spoke to the Israelites, what we call the 10 Commandments. Reading from Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them, or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. The reality of those women's experience this weekend, I think, is a common one for us. Suddenly, each day we may say, the day seems to have overtaken us. We look at the watch and say, is it that time already? Where things just pile up and we begin to lose a bit of focus. There's no doubt when we are facing some of the challenges of things like not having electricity, that other things suddenly rise up. And even though it was a lightning bolt tonight, we blame poor old Eskom. And the reality is that for these women, they had to focus back. Who is number one in my life? And I know that there are many days when the circumstances or events of the day overtake my focus and my priority. And there are times when I need to intentionally make an effort to be able to say, God's actually in charge in this situation. One of the things that I sometimes do in the office, when I'm really perplexed or I'm facing things that are difficult or I'm just feeling a bit overwhelmed by the circumstances, I always stop and light a candle on my desk, reminding myself that Jesus is the light of the world that overcomes the darkness or the busyness or the circumstances. And during the day, that is a continual reminder to me, who's in charge? And so today, whatever we may face, if you are listening to this at the beginning of the day, or what we have faced if you're listening to the end of the day or during the day, like those ladies, let's stop and say, it's God. Let's put God first, and let's get back into focus. And so I pray that you have a good day, and that the light will shine. God bless, and take care.